Did you know that starting today, every driver in California could face a $10,000 fine? Yes, you read that right, $10,000. No, it's not some exaggeration. This is happening, and it's real. But what exactly is going on? Why are the authorities suddenly cracking down so hard? And how did this crisis come to be? You might think you're safe behind the wheel, but trust me, you'll want to pay attention to the details in this video. This isn't just about speeding tickets anymore. The California government is rolling out a series of new laws and enforcement measures that could affect every single driver. And believe me, these fines are going to hit hard. Whether you're a longtime Californian or just visiting, you could be at risk. Stay with us because in the next few minutes we'll break down 10 shocking reasons why this is happening, and what you can do to avoid the biggest fine of your life. You don't want to miss this. Put in the effort to help us grow. Drop a comment below and don't forget to hit subscribe. It's just one click but means everything. Number 1, new traffic enforcement laws. The game changer. The first major reason for these $10,000 fines is a series of new traffic enforcement laws that are about to change the way you drive. For years, California has been known for its progressive policies, but this move is something no one expected. The state is implementing stricter traffic regulations that target everything from speeding to reckless driving and even minor infractions. The new rules are designed to curb rising traffic accidents and fatalities, but they come with a steep price. You might be wondering, how strict are these laws? And what does this mean for you? Well, if you thought getting a ticket for speeding or running a red light was bad, think again. Now, even seemingly small offenses like failure to signal or improper lane changes could result in hefty fines. And it's not just about catching violators, it's about making an example of them. The state is using these laws to send a strong message. Follow the rules or pay the price. To make things even more intense, police will be actively monitoring roads starting February 1st, looking for violations with new technologies and increased patrols. This means that every single interaction on the road could put you at risk. No one is safe from these changes. Now, here's the kicker. These fines are meant to fund California's road safety initiatives and infrastructure projects. So the state has a vested interest in catching as many violators as possible. And while it's easy to assume you won't get caught, the truth is these laws are designed to catch everyone. The more you drive, the higher your chances of getting penalized. Then what does this mean for you? It's time to be more vigilant than ever before. It's no longer just about the obvious rules. It's about paying attention to the finer details of your driving behavior. Even if you're a safe driver, a minor mistake could cost you thousands of dollars. Stay informed and stay compliant. We put a lot of effort into this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe. It's just one click, but means everything. Number 2, increase police presence. Vigilance on the roads like never before. Get ready for a dramatic shift in how you experience driving in California. Starting February 1st, police presence on the roads will increase exponentially. This isn't just a random enforcement blitz. It's a deliberate long-term strategy to catch every single violation and ensure drivers face consequences for their actions. What does this mean for you? More police on the roads means a higher chance of getting caught for even the smallest infractions. It's no longer just about getting pulled over by the occasional officer. You'll be seeing an increase in traffic stops, roadblocks, and even new automated surveillance systems designed to catch you in the act. The reality is that California's police departments are under pressure to meet state mandates. Quote, and this means they're out there more vigilant than ever. They've been given additional resources and manpower, and they're targeting high traffic areas, intersections, and even residential streets to catch violations before they become dangerous. With this increase in patrols, you're more likely to be flagged for any slip-ups, no matter how minor. But here's the real shocker. These aren't just random stops. Law enforcement is actively focusing on specific behaviors like failure to signal, distracted driving, or even improper parking. The goal is to eliminate any and all forms of reckless driving that could contribute to accidents or fatalities. And if you think you can slip through unnoticed, think again. With new technologies like AI-powered cameras, license plate readers, and advanced tracking systems, police can catch violations before you even realize they have spotted you. This heightened enforcement might feel like an invasion of privacy, but the truth is the state is using these measures to protect both drivers and pedestrians. However, if you're not prepared, this could lead to some serious fines. What can you do to stay safe from these fines? Stay alert, drive defensively, and follow every rule to the letter. Your chances of getting fined go up with each mistake you make on the road. So make sure your habits are clean and compliant. Did you find this info helpful? Drop a comment below and let us know. Hit subscribe. It's just one click and helps us grow. Number 3, California's budget crisis. Funding the crisis with fines. California is in the midst of a budget crisis. And believe it or not, your fines could be the answer to the state's financial problems. As much as we may not like it, the reality is that California's budget is running deep into the red. With the state facing a financial shortfall in the billions, the government has turned to drastic measures to balance the books. One of those measures is the implementation of these hefty $10,000 fines for drivers. Why? Because traffic violations are an easily enforceable way to generate revenue. The state has historically relied on a combination of taxes, federal funding, and other sources of income to fuel its massive economy. But as the demand for public services continues to rise while revenues decline, Governor Gavin Newsom and other lawmakers have turned their focus on raising funds in alternative ways, like from California drivers. The idea is that by making driving violations more expensive, the state can generate enough revenue to help balance the budget, fund essential services, and reduce the deficit. What does this mean for you? Simply put, the state is counting on you to make a mistake. They're not only cracking down on dangerous drivers, but are also implementing these steep penalties to fill the financial gap. The government is relying on fines, and that means more vigilant monitoring of your every move on the road. If you think you can escape the watchful eyes of the state, think again. While this may sound like a money grab, it's also a direct result of the state's inability to meet its financial obligations without these penalties. As a driver, it's in your best interest to be extra careful behind the wheel. Every action counts. One simple mistake could cost you thousands of dollars and contribute to this financial crisis. What can you do? Follow the rules, keep your driving habits in check, and always stay aware of the latest traffic laws to avoid falling into this financial trap. We work hard to bring you the facts. Drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Just one click makes a huge difference. Number 4, rising traffic accidents and fatalities. The pressure to act. You've heard the stats. Traffic accidents and fatalities are on the rise in California. But what you might not know is that these alarming numbers are the driving force behind the state's new harsh measures. Over the past few years, California has seen a significant increase in traffic-related deaths. In fact, 2025 recorded the highest number of traffic fatalities in over a decade, a trend that has alarmed lawmakers, city planners, and public safety officials alike. The reason? A deadly combination of distracted driving, speeding, and even driving under the influence. More accidents on the roads mean more lives at risk, and the state is desperate to reverse this dangerous trajectory. So they've introduced these drastic fines as a deterrent. They want to scare drivers into obeying the rules and reduce fatalities before more people lose their lives. The shocking truth is that the more accidents occur, the more pressure the government faces to implement drastic measures. It's not just about fines anymore, it's about saving lives. California has no choice but to intervene, and the fines are their weapon of choice. By increasing enforcement and penalties, authorities hope to send a strong message: disregard the rules, and the consequences could be devastating. But here's the twist. This isn't just about reckless drivers. It's about everyone. Even the smallest violation, like running a red light or failing to yield to pedestrians, can contribute to the mounting statistics. The state is looking for ways to hold every driver accountable and ensure they are fully aware of the dangers their actions pose to others on the road. The goal is clear: reduce fatalities, increase safety, and hold every driver responsible. And while the fines might seem harsh, the reality is that these penalties could help save lives in the long run. The message is clear: be a safer driver or risk losing a lot more than just money. What can you do? Slow down, be alert, follow all road signs, and avoid distractions. Every small action adds up, and your safety and the safety of others depends on it. We put in the effort to help you stay informed. Drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. One click helps us grow. Number 5, environmental and emission regulations. A green push that could cost you. California isn't just focusing on road safety. The state is also going after emissions and environmental impact in a big way. And guess what? These new environmental regulations are directly tied to the hefty fines coming your way. California has long been a leader in pushing for green policies, and the state's ambitious goals for reducing pollution and combating climate change are driving these new traffic regulations. As part of their Green New Deal, the state is tightening emission standards for vehicles, especially older models that don't meet the current environmental standards. While this is great for the planet, it's also adding another layer of complexity for California drivers. Here's where it gets tricky. If your vehicle doesn't meet the strict emission standards or fails the smog check, you could be hit with a fine. And these fines can be substantial, up to $10,000. It's not just about getting a new emissions test or replacing a few parts in your car anymore. The state is cracking down on vehicles that don't comply with new environmental regulations, and they are doing it with a vengeance. The aim is to reduce air pollution and make California's roads cleaner, but if your car doesn't meet those standards, you'll feel the pinch. What this means for you is that you need to be more aware than ever of your vehicle's emission status. If you drive an older car or one that hasn't passed the required test recently, it gakes. You could be facing more than just a fine. You could be held responsible for contributing to the state's pollution problem. What can you do to avoid this penalty? Make sure your vehicle is up to date with emissions testing. And if your car is older, consider upgrading to a more eco-friendly model. Keep your car well maintained to pass emissions tests and avoid the headache of potentially huge fines. We're giving you the inside scoop. Drop a comment to share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe. One click helps us grow. Number 6, overhaul of vehicle registration rules. New requirements could cost you. Think your vehicle registration is just a quick yearly task? Think again. California is rolling out significant changes to registration rules that could hit you with huge fines if you aren't careful. For years, vehicle registration in California has been straightforward. You renew your registration, pay a fee, and you're good to go. But in 2026, that's all changing. The state is overhauling the way it handles vehicle registrations. And some of the new requirements could leave drivers with unexpected fines, potentially reaching $10,000. The new regulations are being introduced in an effort to crack down on outdated, non-compliant vehicles and to reduce the state's environmental footprint. Among the changes are stricter requirements for vehicles older than 10 years, as well as new inspections for things like safety features, emissions, and even car maintenance records. If your car fails any of these new checks, you'll not only face a failed registration, but also a hefty fine. What makes this overhaul particularly tricky is that many drivers may not even be aware of the new rules. For instance, if your car has been modified in any way, whether you made changes to the exhaust system, added aftermarket parts, or even just painted it, you could be subject to stricter scrutiny and higher fines. Many people who drive older vehicles are particularly at risk as their cars may no longer meet the updated standards for safety and emissions. These changes are designed to reduce the number of non-compliant vehicles on the road. Okay, but they also mean more opportunities for the state to issue fines. So if you haven't double-checked your registration lately, now is the time to do so. What can you do to avoid this penalty? First, make sure your vehicle is up to date with all necessary inspections and requirements. If your car is older, ensure it passes the required emissions tests and meets the new safety standards. Don't wait for the state to come after you. Stay informed and protect yourself from hefty fines. Drop a comment and hit subscribe. It's just one click and it helps us grow. Number 7, surveillance and smart technologies. Watchful eyes everywhere. Imagine this, you're driving along thinking you're in the clear when suddenly you get a notice in the mail about a traffic violation. No police car pulled you over and no officer was even nearby. So, how did they catch you? The answer is smarter technology, and it's making every driver in California more vulnerable to fines. California is rolling out an unprecedented level of surveillance on its roads using advanced technologies to monitor drivers more closely than ever before. From AI-powered traffic cameras to license plate readers, smart technology is making it easier for authorities to track your every move behind the wheel. These systems are so sophisticated that they can detect a wide range of violations, including speeding, running red lights, waiting, and even illegal turns without the need for a single human officer. The problem is, these technologies are being implemented across major highways, city streets, and even residential neighborhoods. Essentially, if you're on the road, you're being watched. And with new algorithms and AI, these systems are becoming more accurate and faster at identifying violations. Some of these cameras can even take snapshots of your car, capture the exact time of the violation, and automatically send a fine to your address. What's especially alarming is that these systems can be avoided. Traditional methods of evading tickets, like driving cautiously when you spot a police car, are becoming obsolete. With smart surveillance, it's only a matter of time before you get caught for a mistake you didn't even know you made. Oh, this increase in surveillance is part of a broader effort to reduce traffic accidents, manage congestion, and increase public safety. While the tech is designed to improve road safety, it also creates an environment where every little mistake could end up costing you thousands in fines. The best part, these systems don't give you a warning. They just send the bill straight to your doorstep. What can you do to protect yourself? Be hyper aware of your surroundings and stay on top of every road rule, even when you think you're alone. And if you're in a high surveillance area, drive even more cautiously. We're putting in serious effort to help you stay safe. Drop a comment with your thoughts and don't forget to subscribe. Just one click. Number 8. Driving under the influence. DUI. The crackdown expands. Driving under the influence has always been a serious offense, But in California, authorities are now cracking down harder than ever before. And it's not just about alcohol anymore. For years, DUI has been a leading cause of traffic accidents and fatalities. And California has been aggressively working to reduce its occurrence. But in 2026, the state is expanding its definition of DUI to include more substances, and it's getting tougher on enforcement. While alcohol has always been a major concern, California is now focusing on drug driving, including driving under the influence of marijuana, prescription drugs, and even over-the-counter medications. The state has introduced new testing methods, expanded roadside checks, and is increasing penalties for anyone caught driving under the influence. What makes this crackdown particularly concerning is the broadening scope of what constitutes impairment. You might think it's only a DUI if you've been drinking, but with California's new regulations, even small amounts of THC or prescription medication in your system could result in a hefty fine and even jail time. This means that drivers who once thought they were safe to drive after using legal substances like marijuana or painkillers are now at a greater risk of facing legal consequences. But here's the kicker. It's no longer just about getting caught behind the wheel. California is deploying additional technology to test for impairment during routine traffic stops. And officers can now conduct on-the-spot evaluations and request chemical tests to check for drugs in your system. With this heightened focus, authorities aim to reduce impaired driving and make the roads safer. But the penalties are harsher than ever before. What can you do to stay safe? If you plan to consume any substance that could impair your ability to drive, whether it's alcohol, marijuana, or prescription medication, make sure you have a designated driver or use a rideshare service. Even the slightest impairment can cost you dearly in fines, not to mention legal trouble. Did you find this eye-opening? Leave a comment and hit subscribe. We put in a lot of effort to keep you informed, and your support matters. Number 9, pedestrian and cyclist safety focus. Stricter laws to protect vulnerable road users. California is putting the safety of pedestrians and cyclists at the forefront of its traffic regulations. And you might be surprised at how this will affect you as a driver. In recent years, California has seen an increase in accidents involving pedestrians and cyclists. These incidents have sparked outrage and concern across the state, and lawmakers are taking action to reduce these types of accidents and protect vulnerable road users. The state has introduced stricter laws to hold drivers accountable for failing to yield to pedestrians and cyclists. But here's the twist. Even if you think you're in the right, you could still be fined, and the consequences could be steep. It is. The new regulations are designed to ensure that drivers give pedestrians and cyclists the right of way at all times, whether it's at crosswalks or in designated bike lanes. But the enforcement of these laws is strict, and even minor violations can result in huge fines. For example, if you're caught not stopping at a marked crosswalk or failing to give a cyclist enough space when passing, you could face penalties of up to $10,000. The state is serious about protecting those on foot and on bicycles, and it's putting pressure on drivers to follow these rules closely. What's especially concerning is that these laws aren't just for those in busy urban areas. Even in suburban neighborhoods or rural locations, the laws are still in effect. California wants drivers to be constantly aware of pedestrians and cyclists. Whether you're in a crowded city or driving down a quiet country road, the idea is simple. Be aware, be cautious, and give others the space they need to stay safe. What can you do to avoid these fines? Always stop for pedestrians at crosswalks, no matter if there's traffic or not. When passing cyclists, ensure there's plenty of space between you and them. The more aware you are of your surroundings and the vulnerable road users around you, the less likely you are to get hit with a fine. Did this surprise you? Leave your thoughts below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. One click means a lot to us and helps us grow. Number 10, the role of community feedback. Your fellow drivers could be reporting. You imagine this. You're driving and you make a small mistake. It's no big deal, right? Well, in California, your fellow drivers might be the ones to report you, and you could end up with a $10,000 fine. In an effort to improve road safety and increase accountability, California has introduced a new initiative that allows citizens to report dangerous or illegal driving. This means that if someone sees you run a red light, make an unsafe lane change, or engage in any other violation, they can report it, and you could be slapped with a fine. While this program was designed to encourage safer driving and deter reckless behavior, it's also opening up the potential for a flood of fines, especially for minor infractions. Here's the catch. This isn't just about dangerous drivers being reported, it's about every driver on the road. With the rise of mobile technology, it's easier than ever for someone to snap a picture or record a video of your driving and submit it to the authorities. This means that even if you didn't think you were being watched, someone could be documenting your every move and sending it to the police. This increase in community-driven enforcement has led to growing concerns about fairness. While it's designed to reduce traffic violations, some argue that it could lead to false reports or unnecessary fines. The truth is, you don't know who's watching you, and they don't need to be directly involved in the situation to report it. All it takes is one person to capture a moment and file a complaint. Once that's done, the fine is on its way, and you could be held accountable for an action you thought was harmless. What can you do to avoid getting reported? Drive defensively, follow every rule to the letter, and always be mindful of how others on the road may perceive your actions. It's better to be cautious and considerate than to risk being reported for a simple mistake. Did this info surprise you? Drop a comment and hit subscribe. We put so much effort into this video, and your support means the